Welcome, welcome, welcome. I just want to thank all of my supporters out there. We're spreading this positive energy. I want you to live your best life ever with this information about positive energy, about um, the life coaching services that I offer on my website on Morrison Center for lifecoaching.com. Again, I'm Dr. William Morrison, MD. I also have a PSYD in clinical psychology. I practice internal medicine on the East Coast of the United States and send greetings to you all from the beautiful state of Virginia. And I just want to tell you that I'm just feeling really positive today. I'm feeling really positive, and I want all of you to just kind of just zone into my positive energy. My first video again was on psychoneuroimmunology, how the mind body interaction works. It's very important to understand that the mind doesn't work in isolation. The mind works in concert with the body, and there is a mind body interaction. And the study of that is actually called psychoneuroimmunology. Psychoneuroimmunology, or PNI, is actually a well-known, well-documented medical area of study, and it has its roots in psychology. And I really want to talk about something that is kind of hard to believe. I'm going to give you all a test first, okay? True or false? There's actually a condition called broken heart syndrome. Okay, I'm going to give you a chance to think about that. But before I get started, I have to always do a disclaimer. The purpose of this video is not to diagnose or treat any disease, and I'm not performing therapy of any kind, way, shape, or form. Okay, so gotta go outside of this video to get that. This is a fun talk. Well, there is something called broken heart syndrome. Well, what is that? And I always go back to my famous saying, what's up with that? Okay? Is it real? Is it actually a thing? Yes, it is actually a thing. And broken heart syndrome is a condition where people actually experience left-sided heart failure because of a very prominent or very shocking psychological stress, or even a chronic illness can cause that. But I'm going to focus on the psychological aspect of how this can actually happen. Well, the strong part of your heart is the left ventricle. That is the strongest part of the heart, okay? And what happens with broken heart syndrome, the name of it is actually called Takotsubo cardiomyopathy. So Takotsubo cardiomyopathy is actually a Japanese term. The brilliant doctors in Japan in the early 90s discovered that when people were exposed to a violent or a very shocking psychological stress, such as maybe an earthquake or someone experiencing extreme turmoil or extreme cruelty, but particularly the shock of something can actually cause the release of stress hormones that can actually affect the heart and actually weaken the left side of the heart. So what happens is that these stress hormones, when they weaken the left side of the heart experiences a form of heart failure where the left ventricle, which is the area that is mostly affected with Takotsubo syndrome or broken heart syndrome, or this cardiomyopathy that takes place, what happens is that when that part of the heart becomes weakened, it causes people to become very tired. I mean, they start to experience all the signs and symptoms of what we look at in medicine as heart failure. And well, how did this get discovered? Well, as I said, these brilliant Japanese doctors discovered that when they looked at the hearts of people that were going through broken heart syndrome or Takotsubo cardiomyopathy, it kind of reminded them of an octopus trap. So what in the world does an octopus trap have to do with the heart? What does that have to do with anything? Well, The octopus trap is a trap. It looks like a pot. It's narrow at the top and wider at the bottom. Okay, and the Japanese fishermen, what they would do is they would use this trap to catch the octopus would get trapped in this thing, and when they did, um, it kind of reminded the doctors that, hey, the left ventricle of the heart kind of looks like that. So that's where that name came from, Takotsubo, because that was the name of the actual pot or trap, the octopus trap that is used to when fishermen went out to sea. So when they looked at the heart under an echocardiogram or other various imaging modalities, they discovered that the heart, the left ventricle, actually took on that type of shape. So of course, dilation of the heart makes the heart less efficient, and it becomes less efficient to pump blood out. So the effect of this of psychological stress or sudden stress, or an earthquake, or someone who has experienced a loss. And the interesting thing about this is anywhere from about 58 to 75% of the people affected by this are actually women. So, but men can get it too. And this form of cardiomyopathy or this particular injury to the heart is actually reversible. And it didn't have the signs, it didn't have the findings that you would see in someone with an MI, such as blocked coronary arteries or that type of thing. They didn't find that. It was just the effect of these release of stress hormones, which if you go and you review my first video, I go into detail, extreme detail about how the body-mind interaction works with norepinephrine, cortisol, and it's a very fascinating video I did. So I would like to refer you all back to that one, but I have lots and lots of videos that will be coming out, and we're going to have a wonderful time. I want you all to live your best life. Life is to be enjoyed. Life is precious. You got to get out there. You have to live your life. And I have an acronym, LYL, L-Y-L, live your life. Get out there. Have a good time. Within reason, of course. I'm just being real, Don't take it all the way up to 100, just maybe keep it at about 85. How about that? But don't take it all the way up to 100. Stay away from there. So also, I want you all to know that being kind to one another, being kind can go a long way. Just be understanding. Don't stress out people that probably really can't handle a lot of stress in their life. You really shouldn't be stressing anyone out, but you have to be very careful, and you have to be thoughtful of people, the elderly. Be careful how you talk to people. In my first video, I talk about how words hurt. Words matter. It matters what we say to people. It matters how we interact with one another. Give people the best side of you. Make sure you always do that. And I always say to everyone, healthcare is a right. Healthcare is a right. You have a right to healthcare. It's not an option. It's not a privilege. It's not something for the privileged few. Healthcare is a right. Everyone on earth is entitled to healthcare. Yes, I said it, and I sorry if you don't agree with me, but it's true. Everyone on earth is entitled to healthcare, and they deserve healthcare, and they deserve quality healthcare. So I always want to express that. That's one of my pet peeves. Well, I just want to thank you all for listening to me. Thank you so much for your likes and your subscriptions. It really touches my heart. It's very encouraging to me to keep talking. I want this message to go all over the world about how we have to talk to one another, how we have to show love to one another, and it matters. Words matter. And I want you all to have a wonderful, wonderful day and make it happen. Make somebody else's day. Take care.